Now, does a tax tribunal up in Bombay have to follow that ruling and just ignore the law? All right, let's dive into a really fascinating legal puzzle that gets right to the heart of India's judicial system. We're going to talk tax law, constitutional power, and a huge question about how court decisions are supposed to work. So, think about this for a second. Let's say a high court down in Madras decides a central income tax law is totally unconstitutional. Now, does a tax tribunal up in Bombay have to follow that ruling and just ignore the law? Or is the Madras decision just, a suggestion? This isn't just a hypothetical. This is the exact problem that sparked a massive legal fight. And our map through this legal maze is the 1977 judgment in Commissioner of Income Tax versus Godavari Devi Saraf. This case gave us a really brilliant, though, as we'll see, later challenged, answer to this very paradox. So here's our game plan. First, we'll set the stage and look at this paradox. Then we'll get into the nitty-gritty of the tax penalty that kicked this whole thing off. We'll watch the clash between two states, unpack the super elegant principle the Bombay High Court came up with, and then watch as that principle gets dramatically overturned. And finally, we'll figure out why this case is still so important to talk about today.
Okay, so let's set the scene. You've got one single national law, the Income Tax Act, which is supposed to be the same for everyone, everywhere in India. But you also have all these different high courts, and each one is the top dog in its own territory. So what in the world happens when they start interpreting that one law in completely different ways?